Well, Hellfire, it is Rock the Riff, and I am back for another Metalhead Envy, and back with some more Ghost. Uh, for everybody that is enjoying me watching Ghost, thank you so much. You're gonna get a lot of it. I am basically my schedule normally when I record, do all my YouTube stuff because I work a full-time job as a cook, and so I get to record stuff every other day, and I normally do uh I do two reactions and I do two video game episodes. And so every other two there's going to be at least one ghost reaction. And next on the list for me is Elizabeth, which I am skipping Ritual because anybody that watched my older ghost stuff knows that Ritual was the only song I knew pretty well before I come into my deep dive here on YouTube or here on my channel of Ghost and everything. But I am excited to see what's going on with Elizabeth. And I've kind of got mixed things about uh, doing the interludes also, and then not doing the interludes. A big part of that is just YouTube and their copyright laws and stuff like that. I'll have to see how it goes. I definitely will do a test. There was a couple that said there is some very important interludes to make sure that I listen to before going into the full song. So I will definitely have to go back through my comments and make for sure which ones that everybody is in sync with saying, hey, make sure you listen to that interlude before you dive into the track. But let's get on into Elizabeth. Okay. All right. This really reminds me of some old riffs I used to do when I first got back into uh or when I first got into writing my own music. This was a very close to a timing that was my internal clock a lot. I was almost going to say it's a bit punkish at first, but I don't know if that would be the right way to describe that.
Underneath the moonlight of Bulgarian skies, buried in the blood-drenched earth, these barren lands surmise. She was an evil woman with an evil old soul, and piercing eyes and motionless, our hearts so black and cruel.
There we go. That's a very Doors-like melody to me. My brother would love this song. This is like his bread and butter. He loves this kind of I use the term punk and I mean it in a broader way, but it's like chaotic maybe. Maybe that's a better way to say it. Like yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of dumb. But I like this melody coming up. Sounds like he's saying Elizabeth. Okay. So I definitely feel like the newer songs I've heard from Ghost, uh, it would be like a full choir singing along with Tobias Forge on that. Like that's one of the tricks that I hear that's going on with the newer material. But I still like this. Like you, I guess me coming from the newer albums and seeing how much money's put into those and just making that a very full sound, I hear the potential in this too. But I don't know. I like them both. I like this too. This is it's pretty slick so far.
Her pact with Satan, her despisal of mankind, her acts of cruelty, and her lust for blood makes her one of us.
Oh, I like this. Fucking all the ghouls just like. I am digging this part so far. And I just had a thought too. It's like all the lead work from the guitars in most of these songs. I've yet to hear one that doesn't fit fucking just perfectly into the track and everything. Oh, I wanted to back up to where the goblins all start fucking crab dancing.
Our ancient countess was refused to
I was hoping that was gonna ride out for a big portion of the song. I like that. I feel like I am listening to the bare bones schematics of Ghost. And I only say that just because of what I've heard the newer material sounds like and everything. But this is still, if I had found this album when it first come out and really dived into it, I would have still enjoyed it because it's still catchy. It's still it's pretty slick. I'm curious as to why certain fans don't like after the first two albums as much, I guess is a way to phrase that. Because I don't know, every band that I fall in love with, I want them to make cajillion dollars and be able to throw what they want at their artistic vision. Be able be in a situation where money is not the reason why they can't achieve artistically what they're trying to make for us fans and stuff. It's like from personal experience, my band when we did our first record, uh, somewhere in between, we worked with a guy that's like almost an hour and 40 minutes away from us, and part of our reason was we're broke, we're fucking poor, and we was like we had met this dude, he was cool as hell, and his price tag wasn't as bad as some of the other engineer recording studio things we had looked at. And we ended up paying in total probably 3 or 4 grand to make our first record. And it was an experience. I think in my case, and I hope if Ryan, if you see this, I am not knocking anything we did. I paid basically that much money to get the experience of working in the studio and seeing the ins and outs and pros and cons of all that kind of cool shit. But now for our second record, we're working with Jamie King, and he's closer to us. Really cool dude. Uh, And the reason why we didn't work with him at first was we thought it was going to be just because he's more popular and stuff. We thought it was going to be like fucking $10,000 to make a record. But now getting to know him and getting to work with him, it's actually, I mean, it's kind of, I wouldn't say cheaper, but we're definitely, I'm, I'm, I'm going off on a tangent. I'm sorry. Basically, our first album, we learned where to spend the money in the proper way and not the proper way. We made so many mistakes recording our first record that now going in our second, we're like, all right, so money needs to go exactly into this, into that, and it doesn't need to be wasted on this and that. Is basically what I'm saying. And so it's definitely back to my original point. I know I've been running my mouth for a long time. Back to my original point is listening to this record, seeing they did the best they could with what they were doing. And now, where I've heard newer stuff, I'm like, oh, they are taking the money and putting it in the right spots and making the best for us fans. Like, it's really, really cool. But let's finish this track.
Your desires will to bathe in pure fresh blood, shit pressing virgin skin.
I really dig the. What is that? Sounds like a church organ.
Forever young Elizabeth. You're still alive, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, in the castle, where was my soul? Forever young Elizabeth.
I'm curious if Tobias Forge is like super into surf rock. I meant to say that in my last time I checked out Ghost. But like every bit of Ghost I hear has this surf rock vibe to me. I love that organ. I was ready to get down. There's definitely some super catchy riffs in this track. And my bad for going off on a tangent earlier. I don't mean to pause and talk for so long. I just thoughts pop into my head and I'm here and basically I talk how I would talk if I was sitting around bonfire with a beer. And I don't mean to go off running too bad and get away from what I'm actually here to do is check out the song and everything. The opening kind of threw me for a loop. I definitely thought we was gonna get more of a spastic, oh what the hell, something spastic like that, and a bit of chaos in this track, but it definitely like it kind of started there and then it evens itself out and rides the wave for the rest of this track. But I want to hear this. Yeah, like they come in hard, but then it definitely it's like the peak of the wave is at the beginning and then it settles out and you just ride it all the way to shore. This is a cool track. Elizabeth. Well, it sounds like he's saying Elizabeth, but it's catchy. I think I've spoiled myself in hearing the newer songs and hearing like a full, like it just of their track sounding fuller, I guess. I mean, this is definitely a debut album, and I'm curious. Now I'm curious just because I know a little bit, like how much money was put into this record, how many people worked on it and everything. It's still fucking really good, and I dig it. Like I said in my last one, I'm a Mastodon fan. They have, to me, Mastodon still has this like garage sounding sound, even though I know there's a big production in their albums nowadays. And then also, this album art's really, really cool. I wouldn't mind having a hoodie with this album art. That's pretty cool. That's another thought process I have going on right now. Is my band, we're tinkering on what we're gonna do for our album art on the second record, and I'm like, I'm trying to. I want to tell my artists that we're working with. I'm like, I want the most evilest shit on the front of this record. But four horns for this track for sure. I would say that Elizabeth isn't like, I don't know. It's not. Maybe it's one that's gonna grow on me more, if that's a better way to put it. Like it's catchy for sure, and then in an album setting, I think I would enjoy it more just sitting here and zoning out and listening to this whole record. But individually, I had somebody comment, I cannot remember their name. They said, yeah, Ghost has this trick to where you'll hear a song and at first you'll think it's meh, but then 2 or 3 days later you're walking around singing this song constantly and then it becomes one of your favorites. And this could be one of those, but I dig it. Four horns, yeah, I already rated it. Four horns for sure. I am excited to check out another Ghost song, which let me make sure should be Stand By Him will be the next one on the list, which I'm excited to get the Prime Mover off this album. A lot of people were talking about it and everything, but I'll try to work and be better and not about talking, about knowing not going off on tangents in the middle of checking out the tracks. I'll try to save them for the intros and the outros that I have. But if this is your first time to my channel, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Tell me some pros and cons. I would say give me some more Ghost suggestions, but whatever your favorite Ghost song is, I am going to get to it. I am working my way down the list and all that good shit. So stay positive, stay rocking, and I will catch y'all in the next one.